All right, let's go ahead and begin. Like I said, my name is John Perrell, and I am an account executive here at ChurnZero, and I'm going to be taking you through our discussion today, which is really around companies that don't have usage data on how they can leverage customer success technology. And so, like I said, my name is John. Oh, that's right. This webinar was actually supposed to be held by my colleague, Casey Altieri. He actually just had his first kid last week, so he is on daddy duty now, and so I'll be filling in for him. So like I said, my name is John Perrell. I am an account executive here at ChurnZero, and I'm very excited to have the opportunity actually to have this webinar. It's a topic that I hear very frequently, where companies come to us to tell us really two different things. One, they tell us, well, we don't have usage data, so we can't use a customer success platform. Or they tell us, well, we really want a customer success platform, but our engineering team won't do the integration to give us usage data. And so really the two different points that I want to make is that one, without usage data, yes, you can still utilize a customer success platform. And the other thing I hope that you guys walk away with today is that, without usage data, you can have some tips on how to do health scoring, playbooks, and then journeys. So that's my goal, that's my expectations, and I hope that this was everybody's expectations for the call today as well. So let's go ahead and get started. And one of the things that I was thinking about as I was preparing for this webinar is really how, traditionally, when you go to a doctor's appointment and you would see them in person, they would draw your blood to have that data to start to evaluate how well your organs are working. Drawing your blood also gives them data to diagnose certain diseases for you. But if you think about it now with COVID and everything happening, a lot of these appointments have turned virtual and have turned online. But the expectations for those doctors are still the same, right? To the best of their ability, they still need to evaluate your health. But without being able to run those tests or see those data points, it's going to be tough for them to have those or draw those conclusions. I was thinking it's pretty similar to customer success in the sense that without seeing the usage data, without seeing adoption metrics, feature usage, it's got to be pretty difficult to determine, hey, is my customer going to be renewing or not? But the good thing is that usage data, it's not the end all be all, and it will never be. And I'm sure there's lots of times people on this call have used technology before, very frequently, but still decided to cancel. And so we can't always just rely on usage data. And it made me think about one of our customers, Inflow Communications, who's predominantly a service-based business. In fact, they have no usage data, and yet they're extremely well and successful company with ChurnZero. And what I thought was interesting was that the three biggest ROI impacts that we delivered for them, which is creating a single source of customer truth, 50% reduction in onboarding time, and enabling them to proactively monitor 800 plus customer accounts, are really the three same common ROI use cases that we solve for all of our customers. So usage data or no usage data, everybody still sees the same results by using this type of technology. So really to circle back to my first point, no, you do not need usage data to successfully use customer success technology. But what is usage data? If you do have it, it is very valuable, right? It's a good way to start to track, are your customers adopting to your technology? Which features are they using? Which features are they not using? However, this data, what it doesn't do for you, it doesn't answer one of the more important questions for customer success teams. And what that question is my customer actually reaching their desired outcome or not? And I grabbed this quote from Lincoln Murphy, which I thought was a pretty good quote here, which is that you can focus on adoption, retention, expansion, or advocacy, or you can focus on the customer's desired outcome and get all of those things. And like I said, you can analyze that usage data all you want, but it's not going to answer that question of, hey, is my customer reaching their desired outcomes or not? So it's really important to really not just rely on usage data, but get the complete picture of customers. So I want to hop into some tips on, if you don't have usage data, some factors that you can still use for health scoring purposes. And the way I looked at it was that I broke it up into three more important areas: engagement metrics with the customer, facts about the customer, and then just common insights. And with engagement metrics, there's a lot of great details and data points here to really help determine, hey, is my customer happy and healthy with us, or do they need attention, and why do they need attention? One of the more interesting ones is always change in champion or change in executive sponsor. Right? Do I have to build a new relationship? Is there somebody else that's going to be running point on this project now? In terms of facts about the customer, this is one that I kind of lumped a lot of things together in it, but the ideal customer profile. the ICP, and some of the things that could be included here is the fit of the customer, the maturity of that business, or the maturity of that industry. Where oftentimes that businesses that sell technology to a wide set of different verticals, there's going to be some of those verticals that aren't as technically savvy as maybe some of the other verticals, and these are things you should be aware about when you're starting to put together health scoring. We're going to see all this stuff inside the TrendZero demo system, but before we move on, I just want to give just some general tips about health scoring. And one of the things that we often hear is that paralysis by analysis, where people are just analyzing too many different data points and don't really know where to get started. And one of the tips I have is that perfection, it is the enemy of progress. And so it's one of those things that you just got to get started. And I actually heard this phrase at a customer success meetup, which was violently iterate on your health scores. And so when you get started, just know that it's not going to be right off the bat, and it's going to take some tweaking. It's going to take some changing to really make the health scores more precise. But when you start small, you'll be able to quickly understand, okay, which of my factors are meaningful signals, which of my factors are working, versus which of the factors are just unnecessary noise or just not working at all. So now I do want to hop into the platform and take actually a look at health scoring, playbooks, and journeys without usage data. And so this is the TrendZero demo system here, and this is just one sample customer account. And the area that I want to focus on now is this customer's churn score or their scorecard. And this is how we can start to look at those different factors that we're inputting here without overwhelming the CSM with too many different data points. But now we can start to narrow in to focus on, okay, why does this customer have the score that they have? And me as a CSM, what can I do to improve upon this customer? And so in this example, we can look at things like the CSM sentiment about the account. So what's your own pulse? What's your own gut instinct telling you about this customer? We can look at things like the change in executive sponsor or change in the champion, right? Did my champion just leave recently? We can look at NPS data points. We can look at information around support. Are they constantly opening up support tickets? Or what is even the status of these tickets, or what types of tickets are they opening? Is it all bugs, or does it happen to be feature requests? But these are all really powerful metrics to be using when it comes to health scoring. That doesn't include usage data. And even if we look at this factor of 3 or more support tickets, this is actually a perfect segue into another feature of TrendZero, which is the playbooks. And the playbooks are really designed to engage with customers at the right time because of a specific reason. And so in this example, this playbook is going to be triggered because a customer has opened up too many support tickets. And the benefit to the CSM team is that we don't want to have you analyze different reports or log into Zendesk to see how many tickets are open. We want TrendZero to do a lot of that legwork for you. So when this customer does have too many support tickets open, this playbook will be triggered, which in this example, we're sending the customer an email just to notify them, hey, I was reviewing your account. It looks like you have a few more than expected support tickets open. I wanted to reach out and see if I could be of assistance. And so there's really a lot of different examples that we could utilize playbooks without usage data. We could do it around when customers have too many support tickets open. The change in executive sponsor could trigger a playbook. If we get a new NPS detractor, that could trigger a playbook. If a customer has a renewal coming up, but yet they have an unhealthy churn score, that could also trigger a playbook. And so it's a really good way to start to establish best practice workflows across the team. And now the last thing I want to focus on from the TrendZero demo system is the journey management aspect. And really what this is, it's a way to start to understand, are our customers reaching those desired outcomes, those more important things that a customer needs to be achieving to ensure that, yes, they are successful. Journeys are a really powerful way to start to track that. And we really do that through the concept of milestones. And so the thought here is now when the customer signs up with us, we can start to put them through these certain milestones to track their progress. And so now me as a CSM, I can understand, okay, what are the things that I need to do to continue to push them through this process? And so in this basic example, the first milestone that our customers enter into is the onboarding milestone. And as I click edit on this, we can see that this is actually broken up into 2 different areas: achievements and tasks. And we're actually separating the responsibilities out here for both parties, where the customer success team, there's things that we need to do to make sure that our customers are properly onboarded. But at the same time, there's things that the customer needs to do as well to make sure that they are, completing the right steps to ensure that they are also being properly onboarded. And so this is a good way to start to establish those responsibilities to say, okay, me as the customer success manager, I'm responsible for these tasks. I'm responsible for having the welcome email sent to the customer. I'm responsible for doing the welcome call with the customer. But customer, I need you to turn around and complete these achievements. And so now we can start to track, hey, did my customer return us that configuration worksheet that we need them to do? And I can't do anything on my end until my customer actually returns that worksheet. And so it's a really powerful way of starting to create those tasks for your team, as well as ensuring that, yes, my customer is following through, they're reciprocating the work, they're reciprocating the effort, and now we are going to have a successful implementation, onboarding, whatever it might be. And so now just flipping back over to the slides and circling back into that usage data. You don't need to have it to have a successful implementation. One of the articles that I read was actually posted by Nick Mehta, and it was his little dirty secret about the SaaS world, which is that a lot of even subscription-based businesses, cloud SaaS-based businesses have usage data, but they still don't even use it for their health scoring purposes. And so I thought that was interesting to share, and I wanted just to share my own dirty little secret here. I actually have two for you. And first dirty little secret is that one of the more time-consuming aspects of setting up a CS platform is getting the usage data in. So when you don't have the usage data, it's going to make this process a whole lot easier for you. And then the second little dirty secret, when you remove usage data out of the equation, it allows you to double down on other meaningful metrics. And I mean this in relationship to health scoring, where once again, the thing that we don't want to have happen is you to have paralysis by analysis when you start to create these health scores. And removing these usage data, now we can start to focus on some of those core metrics that are really going to give us that understanding of, hey, is my customer healthy or not, without having a whole lot of noise and potentially inflating the health score. So this is all I had today. I hope this was a very useful conversation. I hope everybody walked away from this with one or two useful things. We will not be taking questions, but if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. I'm always a phone call or email away, but I appreciate the time here.